So Dave, in this session, you've got three pieces of information here under proactive planning: building checklists, build actionable dashboards, and ensuring unity. So let's jump into the first one: building checklists to ensure consistency. Why is that important?
Well, you have two choices. One, you can document and follow your plan of procedures that you documented in the checklist format, or you can go at it from scratch or off the cuff and hope that you catch everything. The problem with doing it off the cuff is you're providing that risk in there. You're entering risk into your process by forgetting something, someone, some part of your process, and somebody doesn't get notified when they need to be notified, or the communication chain is broken, and you get a fragmented plan. And when you fragment it, you go back to that rowing example I gave. Somebody's oar is not in the water when you need it to be.
Right.
So those checklists help build your cadence. They build your consistency. They keep your team on track by clearly identifying their role and responsibility to ensure they get it completed on time when you expect it to have it done. And there's also an underlying benefit to having checklists. It really shortens the learning curve when you bring new leaders or new players onto your team.
Right.
They can look at that checklist and see what's expected of them right off the bat, where they don't have to wait for the first battle to figure out what it is they're supposed to be doing.
Right. Yeah, I think also, I would think that for the junior, freshman, sophomore, junior folks, the checklist kind of order things in a way that they should be ordered, in a sense, right? And I think that's where the experienced folks can keep those checklists current, because you know what to do first, what to do third, and the checklist will follow. That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah, well, not only that is that when you're a new leader or a new person on the team, you may know a lot of what's on that checklist, but there may be things on there that you didn't know. So it allows you to ask questions beforehand, so that when the rubber hits the road, you know what's expected of you.
Right. So you had some sample checklists at Dominion. Why don't you walk us through these real quick?
Sure. And what I tried to show here is to leverage a little bit of my prior experience in the role that I had before I retired, and show you that checklists can be tailored to the type of event that you're about to experience. So if you have one checklist that says, here's my storm readiness checklist, and that's the same checklist you use every time, then you're probably preparing for every event like it's going to be, a Cat 5 hurricane, or, the mother of all storms. And sure, you won't miss anything, but you probably will end up wearing your organization out pretty quickly, because as you can see here in the slide that Tom's showing, code blue, code yellow, code red, and you can say that's a level 1, level 2, level 3 type of event. Code blue would be a moderate event. A code yellow would be a significant event, and a code red would be a catastrophic event. So in a blue event, you're really just making sure that everybody's aware. You're touching base with the organizations that may be called on to respond, to make sure that they understand what's about to happen. You're not getting them, prepared for the 7-day event, but you're just getting them on notice, so that if and when that moderate threat hits, they're ready. So, and you make sure that, and you're doing this every time, and you'll hear some of my peers talk about, practice like you play. So if you're, you probably have a lot more blue events, level 1 events, than you have the level 2 events, but the level 3 events. So, and if you look at these checklists, the level 1 event will be these 4 things for local office: this stuff with design, which are your patrollers, this stuff for your regional operations center, and this stuff for your regional storm center. When you go to the code yellow, it's the same four things for the local office, but maybe a couple more things that you start adding things, because it's going to be a little bit more complex. It's going to be a little bit bigger, so you got to get a little bit more involved. The communication needs to be a little broader. You need to start reaching out to the different stakeholders. And then when you get to the catastrophic event, that's all hands on deck. That's when you're going to need everybody to be available. And there's a heck of a lot more, but all the things that you did every time you had a moderate event, the things you did for those few significant events, they're all going to come to light, and you've already